The Star.
Yeah, y'all already know. Seven the Panther. That dude Fizz on the beat. Yeah. We live in entertainment. Sound change. Crown the kings, homie. This is where it get ill. About to have the tip off live as a tip drill. From the court to the diamond, to the track, to the big skin flying around the field. Starting five forever, keeping it real. If it matters in the world of sports, blue jeans and long sleeves, they taking no shorts. Hot to death, oh yes. These are the sports podcasts live as a pros corpse. Biz market wave, the starting five goes off. No matter who you cheer for, emotions out the window. They analyzing with clear thoughts. They
And I realized cutting it short, I played the old intro.
Oh,
So my bad, y'all. It had everybody who ain't they're with us in life. They're still alive, but they are no longer with us in show. But shouts out to Katara and JP. But this is me, the man who's been the staple since day one. Your boy, the mayor, that DJ named H5, your mom's favorite fat guy from deepest, darkest Africa. And we back. We got 1 week left. Well, actually, this is the last week. J1Con is next week, Tyrone. I'm excited. Are you excited?
I'm excited. I'm going outside.
Right?
Yeah, I'm excited to be outside going to J1Con, man. I'm always excited to do things like this because it's like it just shows that you don't have to be popular. You don't need money, man. Like we just some men that enjoy what we do, and when we get opportunities to show that, we show that. And I know that everybody on the internet can't see it, but when you got a live opportunity to go somewhere and promote and be there, even if the people ain't exactly sitting in the chairs, they see us and they hear us. And so I'm always excited for things like that, and I can't wait, brother. And you know what? Whoever the entertainment is, I'm gonna find out, and I'm gonna show out with them too.
Yeah.
That's why I
I
can't
gotta
wait.
say, I think you might have to bring the Lisper belt. I'll explain why. But
Okay.
you might have to bring the Lisper belt. Like I said, I'll explain post show why I'm thinking that. But we got the brother who's doing double, triple. I don't know. He's doing double duty just like the rest of us next weekend. What up, Jamal?
What's going on, yo? What's going on? Happy to be going. Yeah, I'm excited for it. I'm tired as hell because I'm old, but I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make it. And yeah, looking forward to doing it. Last year was dope too. So happy that we gonna be down there as a full unit and
At least
do
for a
some
day.
stuff. Yeah, at least for a day. Hey man, one day of the full unit, that's a win at this age. So you know what I
Right. True
mean?
indeed.
So but yeah, man, it's gonna be dope. It's gonna
Yeah.
be dope.
And once again, we're waiting for TJ to come back. He was here pre-show and then fucking, I don't know, I guess he had to use the toilet. But but yeah, man, next week we make our annual appearance at J1Con. Last time was 2023 because Jason had to kind of do a reset last year and didn't do the con last year. Had a lot of things going on, but we back again in consecutive conventions. This year's Black Finity Gauntlet once again is featuring my homie down below, Jamal, and my boy T Smith, who's flying up from North Carolina to be a part of this. And we got these brothers. We're gonna have the dope conversation where we got these brothers giving y'all the tools to kind of get to where they got when it comes to film, movie, television production, independent, making it, making it to actual, network television and things like that. And these brothers in roughly an hour and a half, maybe 2 hour conversation, these brothers are going to give y'all the keys and the tools on what their journey and what their steps look like Trust and believe, Jamal. I ain't write none of this down yet. I ain't write none of these questions down yet because I think I know where to go. But also, too, this is something that I've like when I have podcasting friends that I've met through TikTok recently, and unsolicited advice things where somebody recognized something that I taught, they took it to heart and apply it to this day, and it works.
Mm-hmm.
Is just have a conversation,
That's it.
memorize the certain points that you want to hit, but just have a conversation because then if conversation flows properly, then everything should segue properly and you could ask questions off of things and statements that was said and still segue into some of the points and stuff that you want to hit, like how TJ, you just came back. What up?
What up, y'all? Glad to be back. Another week, another episode. Looking forward to this today. I'm a little tired. Played basketball this morning. Went a little bit harder than I should. So took the dummy. Might be on a little
You,
delayed response today, but I'm here.
would you you grab net today? That was the win
No,
hard you
no,
did.
no, sir. No,
You
sir. I
clapped the
did not.
backboard.
Yeah.
No,
You
sir.
got
I did not.
Achilles. Check that Achilles, bro.
I did my job.
Just a clean
I
layup,
did my
TJ. That's
job
all
as
you
the
need, bro.
smallest power forward in the world. The smallest power forward in the world. I boxed out and clean boards, bro. It was on the
That's it.
glass. You know what I'm
Said
saying?
You gotta
the 5
save
foot
that
post
I
up.
know my
ACL,
role.
MCL.
The 5
I know
foot
my role.
post up
I seen what happened to
assassin.
my brother. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
word. Word. But yeah, no, we was just talking about even though we all sound tired, we are excited mentally more than showing it physically today about heading to J1Con next week.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I am looking forward to seeing you brothers on Saturday. So
Yep.
should be a good time.
And don't forget, we got Saturday. I sent the
Should be.
message to the group chat. We got Saturday and Sunday. Sunday, we got our panel discussion, which we could get that out
Okay.
of the way now. As I was saying, and I'm revealing fully on the show, though we are at a convention where it's about fandoms, we are going to have fun with this and do our spin in somewhat of a rebellious fashion that we can tend to do sometimes. And we are going to have debates on the worst fandom. But we're doing this. The idea I had was we're going to do a live tournament, and we're going to keep it to an elite eight, to where if I think O is going to be there Saturday probably, but not Sunday. So we got the four of us. We all can take something that we are going to argue against. So, like I said, I am going to state why I think the IWC, the Internet Wrestling Community, is the worst fan base out there. We picked a couple other things, like I put down DC fans, Marvel fans. I kept it separate, even though I was thinking the DC, like putting DC versus Marvel together. But that would be a debate on just, I would want one to argue each one. I did put Star Wars and Trekkies, but I think we might want to get rid of that one. Tyrone, you
That's it.
mentioned you mentioned millennials and Gen X has to stay. I think that one would trigger a lot of people. But it's up to y'all. Cause like what do y'all pick one that you want to argue for? Cause like I said, I'm team F the IWC.
I because I'm part of the DC Marvel fandom. I'm in it. I argue and talk about DC and Marvel all the time. So that's right up my alley. So I would like to keep that one. And I think that You can't have a fandom. Can you have a fandom conversation and not talk about these Cowboy fans? Like, can you really do that?
Right, right.
Them boys.
So pick. So are you gonna say why DC is the worst or why Marvel's fan base is the worst?
DC for sure is the
Okay.
worst.
Okay. TJ.
Well, Lisper stole my thunder at the end there with the Cowboys fans because
Well,
they
no,
are the
I'm
no.
worst.
arguing. I'm arguing for DC, so you can have the Cowboys all you want. I'm saying they just got to be in the conversation.
They are the worst fans of any franchise of organized sports that
I
I've
would say,
ever that I've ever seen. The
well,
worst.
I'm biased because I would pick the Eagles fans, but that's only because I'm in Philadelphia.
No. Not for a franchise that hasn't won a championship in damn near 30 something years, bro. And every year is their year. For 30
Every year's
fucking
their
years.
year.
But that was the Eagles. The Eagles hadn't won a championship ever until recently, and I've lived through them,
Well,
and I've lived through their fandom all the way
I
up until
I,
they
re-
won
I,
the Super Bowl, bro.
I remember the memes with Donovan McNabb and the empty cupboard box holding Campbell's soup and shit. That was the Eagles trophy closet for a long time and shit. So
This is true, but we would never. I know from a personal standpoint, I don't. I was never, nor my people up here who were Eagles fans was on some. This is our year every year. McNabb gave us
listen,
hope, but we was never Cowboys
I
delirious.
think
We
Eagles and
young.
Giants fans mutually agree that they hate Dallas fans are the worst.
I think so.
Respectfully
Yeah,
respectfully of our
But
franchises.
but
time
You know
out.
what
TJ,
I'm
here's
saying?
here's the other thing. Hold on, Tyrone, because here's the other thing to that. Here's the other thing. We wasn't out there getting Super Bowl trophy tattoos
Mm,
saying this is our
mm,
year.
mm.
We
Ouch.
didn't have
Yikes.
owners of our teams booking Super Bowl flights, before the game even started. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yep.
Um,
Okay,
but
so
I lived through the bring it home for Jerome shit, which was
Hmm.
egregious. And I also lived through the Dream Team Eagles. We forgot about the Dream Team
Oh
Eagles.
yeah. He's right about
I
that. That was
I
bad.
didn't
That
forget. I didn't
yeah.
forget. But it wasn't
That
all right.
yeah, that was bad, fam.
Resident
One
Eagles
team,
fan here.
one city, one heartbeat. Shit. I remember
Re-
that.
Resident Eagles fan here. Yes, the backup, Vince Young, saying we look like the dream team. And we had names on paper, but we going to the Super Bowl with it. We
No,
was this is the dream. Like we could we
I
All
don't
right,
know.
Dan, is a difference.
no, no,
Dan, is a
no.
difference because you're an Eagles fan outside of Philadelphia.
yeah,
Now,
Yeah.
Ty
true
and I
indeed,
know
true indeed.
because
True
I live
indeed,
in
true
this
indeed,
area.
true indeed,
Yeah,
true
Ty,
indeed.
I agree with Ty. It's a whole different because they tie that team to their city in a way that you probably shouldn't.
Right,
And
right. So
yeah,
we're gonna
yeah,
fault them for that one time in the last two
It's
decades.
not.
Oh,
it was a
when we're
whole season
talking,
though. It was a whole
but
season,
what
fam.
a whole season versus every fucking year since
Dude,
1996.
no, dude. Every
I'm not saying
year,
they worse than the Cowboys. I'm just saying.
I'm saying the Eagles should be in the conversation. And it ain't just them one season, bro. Every single year that McNabb was there, they were Super Bowl
No,
bound to the
because
Eagles fans for the most.
it's still
And
it
then and
still
then
does
they did it.
it still doesn't add up to 30. It
And
still
dude,
doesn't add up to 35 years of being America's team,
and
and we're
and
gonna win.
and also y'all don't realize how high these Eagle fans in Philadelphia was on one Mr. Carson Wentz, bro. Wentz mania was crazy in
Listen,
Philadelphia. Calling
bro,
this man MVP, saying he was going to
they
win multiple
came,
Super Bowls.
Lord,
They went
Lord.
berserk.
I
I
was getting
was
attacked by that community in another sports group a few years ago when I was going after Carson Wentz saying this dude is mediocre, and I said get rid of that dude and keep Nick Foles. And bro, The arrows came at me from all directions. Shut up, Giants fan. You don't know shit. Oh, they came at me, bro. Pause. But you know, I always believe that Nick Foles was a better fit for the offense that last coach was running. That's why. When I go ahead, Dan.
We wouldn't have got in the position for Nick Foles to finish the job if it wasn't for Carson Wentz.
I don't think y'all would have won with Carson Wentz. That's my heart of hearts. I think you needed that dude. You needed somebody like Nick
Yeah.
Foles
I could agree with that.
to win that. But you're probably right. It's the same. It's the Sims Hostetler comparison. It's almost the same thing.
You know how Nick Foles won that Super Bowl and went on that Super Bowl run? Because my man had no fear and nothing to lose. Some of those balls he was throwing in that Super
100%.
Bowl, I was like, who the fuck throws that? And then it's caught, and it's like, oh my God. My man just said, fuck it. And fuck it worked.
Well, we
Also,
forget how
though,
big Alshon Jeffries being on that team was, LeGarrette Blunt being on that team. Like
and you
we
can't
had
tell
some.
me what's her name. Childress wasn't in his bag that year. Play calling. He was incredible on the fly, bro, and making adjustments. Man.
And you can't tell me
Uh-huh.
what was the running back that caught that touchdown in triple coverage? You can't tell me that was a good pass to throw. Nick Foles said, fuck it. He caught a touchdown like in between two defenders.
Nick Foles is making Eli Manning decisions, and I applaud that shit. I applaud the fuck out of that shit. No fear.
Well, we got on this segue picking
My
argument
man
topics.
came in there and said, I'm gonna go to war with rifle in one hand and good book in another.
Another thing too, Dan, like
I'm gonna turn my hat around. Fuck it, you know what I'm saying?
you talking about we're gonna do a panel on fandom. And I'm curious to say why you think the Star Wars fans or the Trekkies should be out when they're Star Wars fans are pretty bad too.
I didn't think
I'm probably gonna tackle Star Wars. I'm gonna hit on Star Wars because I think it needs to be in Star Wars and Trekkies.
Okay, so you're gonna ride with this with Star Wars fans are the worst?
Not
that's
all
what
of
it
them.
is.
There's a certain segment within Star Wars fans that are the worst. Yes.
Okay, because that's what we're gonna do. So all right, so we got
I know where you're going
Marvel.
with that, Jay.
So we got Marvel, wrestling, wrestling, DC, Cowboys, and Star Wars. So what my thought is we'll get as long as people come sit down for the panel or during the weekend, we will ask people. Now I might try to maybe reach out to people that I know first and then say, here, this is what we got left. Now here's the thing. We might have to pick something different between the millennials and Gen X shit because it might not be no Gen Xers outside of us to come argue, because the millennials can argue down us all day. And millennial Gen X is it's not really a fandom. It was a thought because of the space we're gonna be in. You know what I'm saying? And it's gonna be a ton of millennials and Gen Ys or Zers or whatever. But there ain't gonna be nobody it's not a cape for. It's a talk against. And there's gonna be no other Gen Xers to go hard on the millennials. Who got their vibrator on?
Hey.
Turn your rose off, niggas.
Oh.
Wow.
Wait.
Wow.
Wait.
Wow.
Now.
Wow. Wow.
Dan makes all these moments in the pause moments that ain't pause moments. And now when he actually does say a pause moment, no pause don't come out. Like this is crazy.
I told you I'm on delay.
Well, Jamal said, "Hey, yo."
I'm on delay, brother.
Oh, man.
Wow.
TJ, that got me fucking you up, man, because that was a long time. He tolerated it for a minute before he even said something. And you said what was happening.
I was just wow. I was just surprised he said something so egregious. You know what I'm saying?
Well, all I heard was, I'm like, nigga, you're not supposed to be doing that live on YouTube.
6 times too. Like, damn,
See?
bro.
6 times, 6 times, 6 times.
But all right, so we got left Marvel. That's 5. What I say, Marvel, Star Trek, and why they're the worst. We need to pick 2 more to replace the generations. Now this is an anime con, so is there like a specific
Oh, I mean, can we do older anime versus newer anime, like Days of Ninja
Anime versus manga.
Scroll? And yeah, I know who's gonna win
so
that though. The
so
manga fans is
no.
hard
No, you have to
karate,
pick
Oh,
a fandom.
no, no.
hard body
I got it.
karate.
I got it. I got it. I got
It's
it.
like a
As
vision.
soon as as soon as you said anime versus manga, I got it. I got it. So we're gonna have somebody have to argue why the sub community is the most annoying and why the dub community. Well, yeah, subtitles versus dub and
Versus
dub.
dubs. Oh, okay. I could do
So
that.
there we go. All right. So no, no,
I
no.
could do
So
that.
so those are the spots that we're gonna offer up for
Right.
anybody to be a part of the tournament,
Okay.
the live panel tournament. So we have left DC, Star Trek,
I'm DC.
sub. No, my bad. So
Marvel. Yeah.
Marvel, Star Trek, sub versus and dub. And again, the point is to argue why you think this community is the worst. So what I'm thinking is it's going to be live mics. Everybody gets like 2 minutes to argue their point. The crowd votes, and then the next person moves on, and whoever
Okay.
loses that round
Well,
is
well, the
eliminated.
dub community is the worst because they can't read. That's period. That's it. That's it. They just can't read. They can't read
Oh, man.
fast. Those are the people that have to. The dub community has to put their finger on the book and go sentence by sentence when they're
Oh,
reading.
no, that's terrible, man.
Chill. Sometimes I do that. I do that sometimes just because my vision is going bad. Just because I do that sometimes just because my vision is going bad and I get easily distracted. So nowadays I'm getting easily distracted. So chill
Uh,
on that. Chill on that. Maybe more they're the representation of America's 6th grade reading level.
The president got a
Yeah,
6th grade
that
reading
too.
level, so
That too. That too.
That nigga got a high school dropout level.
oh yeah,
But
that
I
dude
just
is a resource room champion, bro, for sure.
I don't like the subs because I mean I've watched 3 seasons. I watched Squid Game, and at the first year the dub was irritating.
Yeah,
But after a while, you just get used to the mouth not matching the words, and you just get used to seeing it,
I
and it
mean,
works
we've
out.
been watching that all our lives, Tyrone, with the
But
kung
with the
fu
kung fu
flicks.
flicks, yeah, man.
true.
I
But
mean,
but
those
but
were
TJ
different,
though, the voices match the people. Some of these dubs be like, who is this white man that looks
bro,
like Mr. Popo?
bro, bro.
and them kung fu
Nobody
flicks,
in China,
man. Yeah, right, TJ?
nobody in China talking
Bro,
about, hey, how are you doing, guy?
bro.
Nobody's talking like that in China, bro.
No, and you know
Come
what?
on, show your stuff.
And you
Let's
know
see
what
it.
the truth is? The truth is that those kung fu flicks is racist as hell. We ain't know as kids that they was racist, but we know as adults that they was racist as hell. Because like TJ said, man, they just dubbed them with the voices that they thought would be Chinese.
Dog,
No,
Todd,
but
they had about 4 voice actors for 260 films, man.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah,
The
yeah,
same 4
right.
people did
yeah, yeah.
everything, man.
And I was gonna say, like,
Sifu, how many
let's
times
keep
did
it
I strike you?
let's keep it honest though, like, because within them kung fu flicks, like Jamal, you know for a fact, like that Chinese film community, or they kept their people employed. So it
They
wasn't like it
did.
was outside. It wasn't like it was outsiders doing it. It was other
I think
Chinese
they
folk,
may have hired 4 dudes from England to do those voices, but
possibly.
everybody else, like Shaw Brothers, no, it was all in house in that studio, man.
That's it.
Yeah, Shaw
That's it.
Brothers did their own thing. They were their own factory.
And
Yeah,
they
dog.
went
I
to the
rebought
UK
all
because they
those
could sound
shits,
like
man.
everybody.
Yep, and yes, sir.
Bro,
And
They
I
got this.
I
rebought
had
all
tapes on tapes
those
on
films
tapes.
on region free DVD and
Nice.
watched them in the original cut, in the original widescreen and all that stuff. And yeah, I got to the
Nice.
point where I had to just put the subtitles on, man. I was like, all right. I grew up with the dubs, but I had to switch the subtitles.
They kept this
But
stuff
you know what I like
you
the
know.
you know why I like the subs better, because it tells a better story. Like it's closest to what they're actually saying versus some motherfucker making up
And
shit with
that's
a
a
script.
great point you said, because a lot of times if you put the subtitles on, the story slightly changes compared to the overdub.
Right.
Yes, yes, yes.
You
But
know
also
why I
too,
think
it's
that
like,
is?
go ahead.
I think that I think that subs come from dubs. I really honestly do. I think that they put the dubs in the room and they let the guys read them and they go, yo, this is a little fucked up. Let me write something that might sound a little better. And then they subtitle that up. I mean, that would be a feasible thing to
Nah,
do.
it's lost in
Yeah.
translation. It's lost in
Nah,
Yeah,
translation.
because that was
they
a
just
part
say
of what I was gonna.
how
I
the
was
hell are
gonna
we
say
gonna
that.
sell these films in English speaking regions of the world? And that's what they do.
Right.
And then they dub it and create their own
Is I
story
was.
on top of it.
It was part of what I wanted to say was kind of ties off of what Tyrone said though. Is like that lost in translation, like you just said, TJ. Is how do we trust what they are actually subtitling sometimes? Because you got to remember, you think about the Spanish language. Like when I hear my wife say something in Spanish or something, it the words are backwards, like as if we would say,
Yes.
we would say, I can't even think of a fucking word to say right now, but in
You be like,
Spanish.
where are we going? And it's going where we are type shit.
Right,
That's the way they
exact.
say.
Thank you for explaining it because that's how I was trying to get it
Mhm.
out. That's exactly what it is. It'd be like the book of the store. you
Mm-hmm.
know,
Because
the shopping of the groceries. But
I
then
got
you got to flip it to where
Right.
we understand it.
yeah, because I got a
Yeah, that's
prime
most of the
example.
world too.
When I was in Honduras, the Honduran people, like when we talk to people, we go like, "What's your name? What's your name? What's your name?" Well, the Honduran people would ask like, "And your name is?" They never said, "What's your name?" They would always be like, "Your
Right.
name is," and it was like
Right.
confusing to me. And I'm just like, that's the way they translate their
Right.
Spanish to English.
Exactly.
So that's the prime example of what Dan was saying. Like they say it kind of weird to how we would really actually say it.
It's like
Right.
reading backwards.
Yeah, something like that.
I guess. But we got it down now, so I gotta once we get off of here, I gotta remember to write that down. It's sub versus dub, Star Wars and Marvel. We need to get 4 people to be a part of this and to argue down. I'm gonna throw it up on the TikTok and the Instagram and all that for anybody that's coming to J1Con. Who do you want to argue for? Wow. I'm glad I sat Hurts in a way, but not really. But I am. But anyway, uh yeah, so J1Con next weekend is finally here. We like Tyrone said, we would say pre-show. We finally outside, y'all. Like we finally got something well, except for Jamal, because this fool been outside all year long, globe hopping.
I've been outside
Well, we
too.
had well, yeah,
TJ,
you too. So this perfectly divides the room right now. The niggas
No,
who ain't did shit and the niggas who did shit.
no. See, when I say we outside, I meant like, see that you've been outside. I was outside. Jamal, you went outside a little bit, but we ain't been outside.
Yeah,
We
as
as
a crew, yeah.
as
Hmm.
the podcast. So when I say we outside, I meant like we as this group, as the podcast, as the starting five, we gonna be outside like together, like a unit. You know what I mean? That's what I meant.
100%. 100%. But
Yeah.
I mean it for nigga me. I
Well,
haven't
yeah,
done
yeah. Say
shit
you. I
all
was
year.
outside.
Yeah. Because I haven't been able to my outside is 6 days a week of work. That's been my outside. It's been nothing but fucking work. My outside is what we doing right now. and the occasional times I get a day off is just keeping my feet up, not doing shit because I'm fucking tired.
Well,
That's been my outside.
Hey, I
I
like
had a
that.
half a day, and I drove up to Rhode Island and do that UWO podcast, and that ride is terrible. I mean, like,
What is it? 4 hours, right?
It absolutely
No,
is.
it's like
Not from
5.5.
us. Nah, it's like 5.5
5.5.
from where
Yeah,
we are. Yeah, it
Oh
wrong
takes
yeah,
me
time.
well
about
from
five and a
down
half,
there,
six
so
to get to Boston.
Yeah, you got to go
so I
up to
could.
go down or something like that, right? Or across.
It's a nutty ride too. It ain't fun at all.
So
But
I gotta. I take off. I guess I take off an hour 20 from Staten Island, pretty much. From y'all, because from y'all, I'm about an hour 20, hour 30.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, no, I'm sorry, Brian, Kyle, Eddie, man. I said I was trying to make it up this year, and even on my
The year
vacation
ain't over.
days, I don't even. No, I know the year's not over, but even on my vacation days, like I was just so happy to just not do nothing
Man, you
and
can
just
bang out a day and
not
just
be
go
at
out there,
work.
Dan. Just
I
bang out a
could.
day.
I could. Niggas got work. I got some things in the works right now that you know, I got some things. Oh, touchdown Dallas Goddard, and I think I got him on my bench. How about that? But anyway, moving
Hey,
on. Moving on. Tyrone, what you got for us? Because the one
um,
thing I will say we're gonna save for last is we're gonna have this conversation about what's to come within this fucking state-run media. Because we see it's on the
oh,
fucking way.
oh
well, what
no.
That's
I
the
got is that Ozzie Wilson won MVP of the WNBA, and this is her fourth one. And they talk about her being the GOAT of women's basketball, and I want to say it. I do. I want to say
No,
it, and I love. Huh?
no,
No.
no,
No. Time out.
no.
Can I finish? Can I finish?
Okay.
Can I finish?
I was waiting for him to
You can
say
finish.
no
You can
again.
finish, Tyrone. You can finish. You can finish.
I'm just saying. I want to say it because four-time MVP and the numbers that she's putting up and the way she's balling out of control, and the fact that she's a four-time MVP and she won MVP and Defensive Player of the Year before, and she was like one of the top runner-ups. She was the runner-up for Defensive Player of the Year this year, and so it's like both sides of the ball, four-time MVP, 2 championships. I want to say it, but I'm like, Cheryl Miller didn't get an opportunity to play in the WNBA. And I'm thinking about Cheryl Miller. And I'm also really thinking about how Maya Moore cut her career short, dog. Maya Moore got all of those accolades and cut
She
her
got
career
that. She got that
short.
TV check, bro. That TV check
And
was way bigger.
You know what I
well,
mean?
no, she didn't leave because of the TV check. She left
Yeah. To
because
save her
of
husband.
her husband and then her quest for,
Oh,
political justice
that's right.
Yeah.
after that.
That
Yeah.
was
Maya
insane.
Moore, I was about to say, Asia Wilson, congratulations. She absolutely is the best in that game right now and has been the best in their game for the past few years, probably more
Mm-hmm.
than the 4 MVPs. She hasn't done what Maya Moore has done yet.
She hasn't
And
done
it
what Diana
honest.
Taurasi has done yet.
Hey yo. Don't do that
Taurasi's
now.
a beast, bro.
Don't do that now.
You calling her a GOAT. You said the
I'm,
GOAT word. You
yeah,
said the
she
GOAT
wanna
word, bro.
hey,
Taurasi's a GOAT.
she is, but I don't. She ain't going. No.
Let's just say
Bro.
this though. Let's just say this though. It's too
Bro, I'm gonna
early.
run, let me
Let's
run the stats real quick. 3-time WNBA champion, 2-time WNBA Finals MVP, 11-time All-Star, 10-time all WNBA first team, 4-time WNBA second team, Rookie of the Year, 5-time scoring champion, assist leader. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Peak anniversary. You know what I'm saying? 15, 20, and 25th anniversary teams she's made. 6-time EuroLeague champion, 7-time
6 times.
Russian national champion, 3-time Russian Cup winner, 2-time, 3-time League Player of the Year in Russia, Turkish National Player of the Year, Turkish Cup, 3-time NCAA champion, 2-time NCAA tournament MVP. The wage, yo, bro, this shit, I can keep going for another 5 minutes, man.
Okay. But
You
I'm
didn't even
gonna
get to
say this.
Maya Moore's.
I'm gonna say this though. I don't want to take away nothing from these women. I love these women. I love watching them play basketball. I love what they do. I wish the WNBA made more money. I'm an advocate for them. I've always been an advocate for them. When I started this podcast, you can see I got a Maya Moore episode from like my first year starting my podcast. But I do kind of have to take away some of the overseas accolades for some of the women. No, time out because you can't use the overseas accolades to compare a woman to another
They
woman
all
who
played
didn't have.
over there. They
No.
all
I'm
played
just
over
saying.
there.
Yeah, but there's a difference between how much
I'm trying to let
Taurasi
you
has.
land your plane, but
There's a
I'm
difference
trying.
between how much Taurasi has played over there way more than other women based on the money. So it's like, yeah, Taurasi has all these overseas accolades, but it's a time thing too. That she's played more overseas because of the money situation, whereas the women now, a lot of them don't have to go over there to get those overseas accolades. So it's a
Stop
little
right there.
tenuous.
And so, and that's where I have to step in and say you can't fault them for the way that their situations was set up in their times. It's just like when we compare eras of every other sport. And, everybody wants to say Michael Jordan could have played in every era. Yes, probably he could. But when you go back and watch some of MJ's moves then and then compare them to some of the moves now, I don't know. But would he been able to adapt? Yes. But
Uh,
whatever. LeBron James, another guy, but he was able to take advantage of the things that MJ put in place, the things that Kareem and Dr. J and the people past, they were able to take advantage of the things that put them in the positions that they're in now. So
right.
I say that with the
Ty,
women because
Ty.
the women had to go overseas because
Yeah, that's my
that was
point.
the only way to supplement their income. So yeah, you are right in the whole income thing, but we can't not include that in the conversation because it's still professional
It's
basketball. It's just
it's like
it
the
goes to
Negro leagues versus the major
No,
leagues, the ABA and the NBA. You got to count all that shit, bro.
no. My point is this though: if
right. It's
you
like
want to say
excluding.
when you
Like, oh,
no,
you didn't
I'm
play in
not.
the NBA, so this don't
No,
count.
man.
No, no, and no, no,
No,
no, no, no, no, no. Hold on, because it's not an attack against what you and what you're saying. You're saying that the conversation around Asia being the GOAT is where this started. And that's not
no,
saying that that's exactly where you feel,
but
but also we can't leave these other aspects of it out of the conversation. It's just like how I bring up, like, shouts out to the brother JP. He says, we don't count pre-segregation football. You know what I'm saying? He said we don't count the pre-segregation leagues, but the NFL had to have started somewhere, and that's why I always say your Giants have 8 championships. You don't have just 4 Super Bowls. You got 8 championships in your team's history. It had to start somewhere. Yes, we can fault racism and things like that because that's a totally different conversation. But for the women in basketball, like, yo, they were still out there playing a professional game and still gained accolades. To me, it all counts. It's like trying to separate a gold medal and you can separate a gold medal and an NBA championship, but then people are questioning how was Melo a Hall of Famer when he got gold medals, but he doesn't have an NBA championship. It's because it's the Basketball Hall of Fame, not just the NBA Hall of Fame. And when we talk about GOAT status, people in basketball particularly, people go
Mm,
straight to Jordan just because of what he did in the NBA.
okay. Two
And it's more than the NBA.
okay, two things I want to say. I'm saying that in comparison, right? If we say, hey, Tarasi has all of these Euro League championships and championships in other leagues, but she's played in overseas for 10 years. And then we want to compare to Audrey Wilson's overseas career, and Audrey Wilson only played overseas for 3 years. You can't, that's like, she had more years. So, of course, she's going to have more accolades. So that's kind of like, she's got more accolades because she's got more years. We can't really compare. It's not oranges to oranges because if we got to go by the years. Like I said, you're making a good argument for Taurasi right now. But I'm saying that where Audrey Wilson is at this present time, with 4 MVPs right now, Defensive Player of the Year right now, the MVP of the league right now, and the second runner-up for Defensive Player of the Year right now. If she plays the level of basketball that she's been playing, and then she plays the same amount of time as Taurasi, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I want to say it. I can't say it right now.
That's where I think Tyrone, Jamal, we are all in agreement with that. Because to put it out right now it's too early.
It's absurd.
She's still got a long way to go. And that's why we said she got to catch up to Maya Moore. She got to catch up to Diana Taurasi. But she's still going. She's still going. So she got a long way to go, Jamal.
But
she just needs a decent amount of comparable time to make that all-time status. She's still young in her career, man. So just give her some time. Not everybody's going to have the longevity of Taurasi, so you have to judge that on a different standard as well. But
right.
Yeah, she just got to earn some time. That's all.
She played a lot of games.
Yeah, but my main point was, okay, so like we got the stats, and we can go off the stats all day, and you know how stats are, right? But we got Maya Moore, which Maya Moore cut her career short, and in my mind, to have all the accolades Maya Moore has with her career being cut short, I don't know if you can catch that. I just don't see if I don't feel like you can catch that, because I feel like if you play for 10 years and you get close to Maya Moore, then I always get in my head like, what if Maya Moore would have didn't cut her career short, she would obliterate you. And also
that's the Barry said. I was gonna say
you can't do what if, man. You can't do what if.
I was gonna say, Tyrone, real quick, not to cut your point. You could continue. That's the Barry Sanders conversation.
And there's no doubt in my mind, Barry Sanders is better. Who's better than Barry? No one.
To me, no one.
Depends if you ask them boys or not.
And he got that title. And he got that title in a Cardinals uniform. How about that?
I promise you, 2 seasons of that Dallas Cowboys offensive line, I could have hit them Emmett numbers myself, bro. Like, let's not Emmett. Emmett didn't have the moves like that, bro. That Cowboys offensive line was.
We're in agreement there. I'm just telling you.
I always say this. If there was some way Jerry Jones could have signed Emmitt Smith, he would have smashed every record known to man. They would be untouchable records.
You mean Barry Sanders?
Some video game shit. Barry Sanders. Yeah, Barry Sanders.
Barry Sanders with that Cowboys offensive line would have ran for 3,000 yards.
Barry Sanders on that Cowboys offensive line, his career, he would have ruined Michael Irvin's career, Jay Novacek's career, Troy Aikman's career. All would have been ruined.
If Barry Sanders was in that Cowboys uniform, I wouldn't be a Barry Sanders fan.
And
I can't see myself saying that.
And I got 2 more points. I don't care about I care about stats a lot. But there's also a thing that I see called the eye test. And I promise you, I've watched Cheryl Miller play basketball, and I have never seen a woman do it better than Cheryl Miller. And I know she can't get the accolades because she didn't get the chance to be in the WNBA and all that. So the accolades and stats is not going to be there. But I challenge y'all to say that any woman actually watching a woman play basketball, I've never seen a woman visually play basketball better than Cheryl Miller. Ever.
Nobody's going to argue Cheryl Miller with you, bro. Nobody's going to argue down Cheryl Miller with you. Except her brother Reggie. That's the only person who's arguing down.
Yeah, she was dope on the Pacers.
Reggie wouldn't even argue against it because Reggie used to talk about how only his sister could kick his ass.
The funny, the thing with the Michael Jordan thing, right?
I'll catch it on the replay.
Michael Jordan did what he did during the time
That's
during
funny.
the time when the NBA was playing the NBA defense that it was playing at that time. And so for me, I tend to say that the Kobe's, when Kobe came in, the defense changed a little bit, but I'm tending to say that Kobe, Jordan, those guys that were killing the league, Magic, and those dudes before that were killing the league before, their generation is better to play in this generation than the generation of people playing now. Like, I'm sorry, but AI came in 90. You know, AI played in 96. He played kind of in the Jordan generation, but AI would not prosper in the 80s because he would be injured, bro. He would be injured.
That's a decent argument. That is a
You know what
decent
I'm saying?
argument.
And I'm
Yeah.
saying too that the way the defense has changed,
Yeah,
if
he'd be
Michael
too light,
Jordan
but he
was,
would kill it in this league. He would kill it
yeah,
in this
right.
league right now.
And that's what I'm saying. If the things Michael Jordan did with the defense that he had on him, it's hard for me to say that he wouldn't have been double that with the defense that they playing in this league now. It's
Yeah,
hard for me to
there's
say.
certain players who are generation proof. I think Kobe would have been fine. If you know Kobe's makeup, you know Kobe would have been fine. LeBron would have been fine in any generation. KD would have been fine in any generation. So
But
those guys would all been fine.
yeah,
It's
but
about
somebody,
it's about that adaptability that I tried to bring up
and
before.
Mm-hmm.
Like
and that,
there's every generation has that one or two that could adapt, but then there's
Yep.
others who are greats of their generations
I'm saying,
who you look at them and it's like, yeah, I don't know.
I'm
I don't
saying that
know.
I'm saying the adaptation though, the adaptation would go from this generation back to Michael Jordan's generation. Michael Jordan wouldn't have to adapt to this generation because this generation don't play defense. He wouldn't have to adapt to that. He would go crazy.
Nah.
Yeah.
He would have to adapt to
To what?
a lot faster players, a lot quicker moves, the
Taller players at
handles,
his position. Yep.
the tall, yeah, and
Players with
that
better
too.
handles.
And the handles is total. Watch 90s basketball, and it looks like straight basketball clinic. You learned how to bounce pass first, chest pass proper first. You know, it's like it's not as the game then wasn't as free flowing as it is now. To where yes, but that's why I say a Michael Jordan, I think, would have had the ability to adapt to the free flowing style.
Easily.
Defensively,
Oh, hell yeah.
he would lock these motherfuckers up. He could lock them up. But also, is he as fast and as quick as everybody else? That's another thing that he would have to adapt to. We watched
But
Kobe.
Jordan wasn't
Kobe
as
spent,
fast as quick as anybody else when he played.
yeah, no, he was faster than most. He wasn't faster than everybody. But again, for the moves, again, go watch some
I
of
think
his
he
move
played
set.
his angles well, but go ahead.
Yeah.
Yes. No, I agree. I agree. But we watched Kobe for 20 years. And we watched his game evolve to where if this brother was still here with us and for some miraculous reason still playing because his IQ was the way it was, he would be able to adapt to today's league or go backwards and he would eat up the leagues of the past
You know,
because a lot
Listen,
of them players didn't have his IQ.
real quick. Can we just appreciate how nice a person is in their sport that their skill transfers across any timeline? You know how hard
Yes.
that is? You know how hard that is? And I'm talking in all sports. Like that
Mhm.
is insane to do. That is just insane to do, to be that good that you can transcend any era. That's wild. And
And
that just shows you how gifted that person is.
to bring it back to Asia, I think Asia is one of those transitional type, transcending type players that she could be that person in the early days of the WNBA.
so
I think she could be that person that
Yeah, the way she plays.
she might not rival Cheryl Miller toe to toe, but she would be in the fucking conversation.
yeah, I think she's more in the Candace Parker kind of way I see her playing. It's more like Candace Parker, and
Yeah.
Candace Parker disappointed me though because Candace Parker, I guess Candace Parker mentality was best for the team, and she rolled that mentality. So she played her game best for the team, and she's won
That's the way.
championships.
That's the way she was coached.
I know, and that was great. But Candace Parker could have been she could have had way more accolades if she would have just decided to like.
I think her injuries slowed her down a lot, though. She had injuries middle to the later of her career that she was out for quite a bit.
Yeah. The other thing I wanted to bring about the WNBA is so in all these arguments that I've been making, and mind you, I'm not one of these people that hate Caitlin Clark. I'm not one of these people that got involved in the Angel Reese versus Caitlin Clark shit. I was one of the people that said like both of them is balling. Angel Reese does different things. They're not really rivals and all of that. But when I started talking about Paige and started talking about Paige Beckers and what she was doing in her rookie season and all this, there were so many arguments about, oh, she's not better than Caitlin Clark. And I'm like, she's very much so comparable to Caitlin Clark. And I think she plays a better all-around game than Caitlin. Now,
she's a better shooter.
When you look at the stats, Caitlin got better stats, but Paige plays a better all-around game than Caitlin Clark. To me, watching it, right? But the main argument I got was, oh, but look at Paige's team. They're not even making the playoffs. Caitlin Clark took her team to the playoffs in the first season. I'm like, they decimated Paige's team before she got there. That's how they got her. They got rid of all the good players so that they could get her in the draft, right? It was like a tanking situation. So she's on a team that don't got nobody. Like she's it. And they wanted it that way because they want to build around her. The other thing too is Caitlin ain't playing. And last I checked, the Fever is in the semifinals at the WNBA playoffs. So where's the argument now? Because everybody was telling me Caitlin took that team to the playoffs last season, and I was telling them no.
Caitlin, they got a young great in Aaliyah Boston over there too.
Right. And I told them,
Aaliyah Boston's a monster.
I said, Caitlin didn't take them to the playoffs. They were already a decent team, and everybody argued with me. And now I'm like, look where they're at now. They're not going to win the championship. But without Caitlin, they're farther now without her than they were with her. And I'm not saying that take away nothing from her. I'm just saying that the argument of Caitlin Clark taking that team to the playoffs, I always thought was ridiculous. And now there's my vindication right here.
Yeah, she brought more attention to the team.
Also,
like we're talking about an Indiana team just because of her.
The Liberty's out. The Liberty's out. So you guys have lived in your New York basketball glory for the foreseeable future because
hey, that's okay.
Liberty's out.
That's okay. They got one.
Yeah, we got one.
I'm not mad.
Not this year.
I'm not mad. We
the other team is working on one. That's right.
It's that cockiness of, hey, we could afford to take a year off.
Hey, doing that. Got the ass whooped. That's what happened.
It's okay. They'll be back next year. They got a bomb squad. Them people are tied in. It's like the Knicks. We'll be back. We'll be back this year, next year, the year after.
And back to where?
They did.
Back further than the Lakers.
You didn't go to the NBA Finals. You're going to be back to losing. What are you talking about? Better back to the Lakers going to win a championship before the Knicks do.
Yo, you smoking dope.
Oh, you're wilding, man.
You're
wilding, bro.
It's not even. It's not even next weekend.
What did you have to eat? I had a gummy. What did you have, Ty?
You know what I'm saying?
I didn't even pass you the good shit yet. He's already fast forwarded the next week.
The Los Angeles Lakers have won a championship in every decade since I've been alive, and you telling me that the Knicks gonna win the championship before the Lakers?
Yes,
they got a better shot than them. Yeah,
I
put money
championships are hard, man. You need to be lucky for championships, but.
Hey, Luka down about 25 of them pin downs too. Y'all ain't see that?
I seen that. Luka gonna ball out, but Luka gonna let up as many points as he scored.
And we got we got a
just because you slimmer don't mean the defense gets better.
Who's your center?
We got a big man. He ain't good, but we got him.
Who's your big man?
Okay, I'm not gonna bring the name up.
But they got a big
Mitchell
man.
Robinson, but the Knicks wouldn't trade him.
They got a big man though. He said
it's a body. He's big. He's gonna be in the games. That's all I'm saying.
What's his name?
No.
Say his name and he appears.
No.
Don't let me look him up, Ty.
We
Don't
did
let
not
me look
have.
him up, Ty.
We got
Ty
a
don't
body at
believe
least.
in his center.
Listen, I don't
Ty
believe
don't
in him.
believe in his
At
center.
least it's a body. At least we have a center now. We do. We have one. Okay.
DeAndre
Lachie World?
Ayton? Are you talking about DeAndre Ayton?
I didn't want to say his name, but he's there. No, I'm
Say
just
his
saying. He's
name, man.
signed though.
He appears.
He got the size. And
Ty
let's
don't
not wait.
believe in
Hold on. Let's
The
not
DeAndre
act
man
like
had Kevin
Ayton.
Durant on his team.
let's
You know
not
what I'm saying?
let's not act like he didn't have like he's let's not act like he's mediocre now. I didn't want to say his name because I knew this was going it was going to get ridiculed. But my man is he's feasible. He's better than what we had.
In
We didn't have
recent
no
time,
size. We didn't have no size. Now we got some size now.
You should have brought back Dwight Howard, man.
hey,
What?
Hall of Famer
DeMarcus
Dwight
Cousins
Howard.
is still out there. DeMarcus Cousins is still out there.
Nobody wants Boogie, man. I'll take Aiden over
Boogie gets
man.
rebounds.
Yeah,
Boogie
but
gets rebounds.
I don't know, man. I don't want him. You know
He
why I
don't
don't
play
want Boogie?
defense, but he gets
No.
rebounds.
Here's why I don't want Boogie, right? Here's why I don't want him. Because what he'll do is he'll take your expectations up and then let you down. That's why I don't want him. It ain't that
He's on a team that
doesn't
doesn't need him to do anything but grab rebounds. He don't need to score. He got
it's
Bron
like,
and Luka on that team.
No, what I'm saying is this dude will give you 25 and 15 on a Monday, and then on Tuesday give you 5 and 3, and you're like, what the fuck? And I can't deal with that, man. I can't deal with that because as soon as he give me that 25 and 15, I'm like, yo, championship. That's it. Boogie's here. We doing it. And
LeBron won't let him do that. LeBron won't let him do that. LeBron won't let him do that. He's trying to get a ring. He's trying to win. It's different when he's on a winning team.
If I'm the Lakers, man, I'll be trading LeBron this season for real.
They ain't doing that. Not with a spry Luka.
Speaking of trades, because we could scrap that Charlie Sheen shit because I don't think you might have been the only person to watch that.
I know y'all didn't watch it, but I was going to scrap it. Wasn't even going to bring it up, but
because
y'all need to watch it. Y'all need to watch it. That's all I'm saying.
What we forgot last week about somebody who's trying to make some immigration trades and realized she done possibly fucked up the state of Georgia. I forgot her name. Her name ain't worthy of mention anyway for the asshole move that she did. But this woman decided to call ICE on a Hyundai or a Hyundai, as she called it.
A Hyundai.
She said Hyundai, I think she called it. a Hyundai plant to get over 400 and something Koreans deported from the U.S. because she. Go ahead.
I don't want to say this because it kind of looks bad upon my people and what we do, but I can tell y'all how that happened because I know that it's a union construction issue because the place that she called is under construction. It's not even built yet. It's a construction site. And so I know for a fact that when you are a union, like I'm a union power driver, and if I drive past a job and I see power driving work going on, and I'm not aware of any of my union power drivers that are on that job, I make the call. And I go, hey, it's a power driving job going on. I don't know who's on that job. And if it's a power driving job going on in my city and my guys aren't on that job, I make that call. So I'm saying that if it's a construction site and construction workers from that town or that city seen that construction site and they see Koreans on that site, they're going to make that call, bro. They're going to make that.
Listen,
I allowed you. Hold on. I allowed you to jump in without letting me finish setting the table because the real issue is, though optics. You said that from a logical union working standpoint. This bitch did this shit out of racism, out of bigotry, and out of the ignorance of she thought it was taken away from American jobs. Which what she didn't realize is she had the people who was training the American workers how to do the job removed from the site.
Yeah, that doesn't make
Yep.
sense, Dan. That doesn't make sense. It was a construction site. We don't need we don't
No,
need training
they
on
were
it was a
no.
construction site.
It wasn't
No,
the building of the construction. It was the building of the actual equipment. They were the
machine.
people who was teaching them how to build the electric batteries, how to build the cars, how to do everything in the way that Hyundai constructs their product. They were the people training the American workers on how to build the product across the board.
But there's
Optic,
my thing is there's no product yet, so they didn't have to be here yet. They didn't have to be here yet. If they're
but
doing
that's not
construction
true.
on the
That's
site,
not true.
it was a construction site. It was an open construction site. So where were they training them to build what in an open construction site?
The whole site wasn't was
And and
they had them working in certain areas already, teaching the
and
guys how to do shit
They were
and
while
doing
still building the rest of the
yeah,
site.
they were running test
and
machines to show them how to operate the machines to build the car.
here's the other thing. The
Thank you.
Trump made a deal
Excuse me.
with with the Korean LGI company for the batteries. So the Hyundai site that builds the cars was going to have the LGI Korean battery electronics company on site too. And so he made a deal with them that said that, hey, we're going to let your workers come and work on this site to build this site, and we're going to let y'all have a Korean-based company in America on this site. And what we're going to do is we're going to give you a discount on all of the tariffs, and then Hyundai said in turn that the tariff discount, and Trump made this deal, the tariff discount was going to be put on the consumer. So we were going to have to pay for those Koreans to be here.
Which
So
would
I,
which
I
is
ain't mad at
happening.
it.
Well,
I'm not.
well,
I'm
you
not. I'll be honest.
that's good for you. You're not mad at her, but
No.
now you are one of those who are now a part of why the state of Georgia lost out on how many billions of dollars, Jamal?
Is it 800 million? That deal was
Billions,
850.
billions,
Yeah,
billions.
yeah,
They
and
lost out
jobs. So
billions
yeah,
and
so
jobs because of bigotry,
that's
because
it.
this bitch was fucking ignorant. I
So
understand what
again,
you're saying on the union standpoint, Tyrone, but I'm sorry. Regardless, you need somebody to teach them union workers if they even become union, because I don't know if Georgia is a right to work state. If Georgia's a right to work state, we're not even the union conversation is
it's
totally null
null
and
and
I,
void.
void.
No,
Yeah.
I was talking about construction workers in general. It don't have to be union
Yeah, yeah,
construction.
yeah, yeah. No,
Any
but the
construction workers.
way, right, but the way you set your table, if they're a right to work state, which I didn't, if somebody's on a computer could look it up, but if they're a
Yeah.
right to work state, your point, I understood your point as a union guy. But again, this woman doing this and getting people removed who were teaching the people how to work the plant to be able to conduct the deal that Trump put in place to have them working and would have brought thousands of jobs to the state of Georgia, would have had, it would have fed families. It would have
It would have
rebuilt
boosted
and
the economy in general because the more
thank
people
you.
there are
Keep
going to
going,
be
TJ.
spending
Keep going.
also. So that's what it's going to do. It's a multi-level, all one tide lifts all boats type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody was going to eat. But while we're on this, I don't know if you guys saw Trump now for the H-1B visas are making companies
100,000.
pay 100,000 per visa per person.
I mean, wait,
If you
before
don't
we go,
think this dude is a foreign asset at this point
wait,
to
so,
just
but
destroy the American economy at this point, like who does that serve?
before we get off
Nobody's
the
going to
topic
pay
though,
that.
I've gotten arguments about this with people that are not. So it's like it's two sides of that coin because now it's like, okay, so now that deal Trump made was actually a good deal, right?
And
So
Georgia is a right to work state. So
but that deal that Trump made was actually a good deal, then, right? We agree with
Yes,
that. So
yes.
that was a great deal. But here's the thing: I have, and this is the question that I still ask: why why did the deal stop? Why are those Koreans going home now? So Korea just
because
hold on. If it was a
they were
good deal for Korea and it was a good deal for the United States and it was a good deal for
let
everybody,
Jamal
so
answer.
Korea's just butthurt. They're just butthurt that they
no,
did that, so that they just want
No,
them to go home now.
no. Here's the difference: is other countries actually have fucking honor and believe there's more things than just unfettered capitalism. So when we spit in their face, they said we will take our shit elsewhere. All
Right.
those deals that are happening that are getting ruined, that business is not coming back to the U.S. It's
That's
not.
so.
They're
So they're
finding
butthurt.
they're they're
They're butthurt
finding
now.
Brazil and Argentina and other places to replace these things, but these guys believe there's something worth more than money. And it's hard for anybody from a capitalist society to understand it, unfettered capitalism society to understand it. Those guys, if you insult them, they will take their shit and go elsewhere and say, fuck you. It ain't
Right.
about the money.
Because
And
it's
it's
not a
hard
matter.
for a lot,
I'm sorry.
yeah,
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
it's hard for the unfettered capitalists to understand that because unfettered capitalists can be bought. They have a price. These people will tell you, go fuck yourself.
Right. And that go fuck yourself is we're not butthurt. It's we're taking our ball and we're going elsewhere.
right.
These
That's
countries
it.
are now making deals elsewhere. We see
That's our better friends.
Canada and Mexico is working on a deal. I think it was about with their steel and lumber or something like that. But they're working on a deal to build a way around the state, around the US,
I
past
applaud them
Can
for that shit.
past
Yeah.
California and all them other western states to say fuck. We're going so far with this that we're not even going to pay your fees to cross through your country anymore. So it's not a butthurt. It's the rest of the world saying, you know what? If this is how you want to behave, thank you, TJ. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Fuck you. And so then the Americans would think, America, or MAGA America will think, oh, look at them running scared. Look at them butthurt in your choice of words. But no, it's not. It's not a butthurt. It's a we're playing ball against you now because you're butthurt
No,
because
they're gonna
your
be
ignorance
butthurt
is
when they're
putting
out of
us
a job because we don't fuck with those other countries anymore. That's who's
that
gonna be
part too.
pissed.
The rest of the world is isolating the United States economically. They say, okay,
And
Right.
fuck you. We're just not going to do business with you. We're not going to do business with you. That's fine. We don't need it. We got a better quality of life than you at this point. We got more freedom than you. We don't need this shit. They say,
yep.
okay,
And
y'all,
Africa is blowing
yeah.
up right now. Africa is blowing up with their shit right now. France is about to go bankrupt, the entire country, because they got so many resources. 80% of their money went from Africa to France, and they never thought of a contingency or backup plan. But before we get in that to say this, I don't know, you muted your shit before you left, Dan. I was talking about the H-1B visas, and now Trump just
Yeah.
signed an executive order
Yeah,
for
I
it to
heard
be
you say it.
$100,000 to have an
Right.
H-1B visa now.
AKA the straight up grifting. It's straight
It's
up
just more
grifting.
shit that's going to hurt the American company because people,
Yeah.
he's an asset. His sole goal is to cause economic chaos because he's in the pocket of foreign agents. And this stuff is not going to do anything but hurt the American economy and the American business who thrives on getting that money. No one's going to pay that shit.
No, that's why they did it.
Yep.
That's why they
We
did it.
see the farmers who thought, oh, he's not gonna get us. This ain't against me. They're the ones crying the hardest right now. And
I
and
know.
and
And
I and
JD,
I and
yeah,
I laugh at them. I laugh at them, but I only feel bad because yes, everybody, especially in this capitalist country, everybody deserves the right to feed their family.
Dan,
Everybody should have the right to feed their families and do. But guess
Dan,
what? Now get little Timmy, get little Johnny that don't want to that want to stay in the house and be on their computers that you built for them. Get them motherfuckers in the field.
Dan, I've said this a million times. Cognitive dissonance is a disease. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? These people knew what was wrong,
See,
knew what they were doing could affect them, and they did it anyway. They went. He's the master of getting people to vote against their own interests, as
yep.
it's considered socialism, or
He didn't even have to, man. Yeah, because that is a demographical disease, number one, historically. But um, you're absolutely right, TJ. And these people continually vote against their own interest,
when they
and
know the
they choose
truth, though,
racism
Debo,
over
they know the
well-being.
truth.
Yes, they choose racism over
Nah,
well-being. He fucked
you
the
gave them too
farmers
much
over
credit,
last
TJ.
time,
They don't know the truth.
They do,
and
bro. Then they
You
know the
giving them
guy's
too.
a criminal. They know he's a crook. They know he slept with another woman when his wife was pregnant. All this moral shit that they wouldn't have done in their family, but it's okay for this guy to do. It's
but they
bullshit.
Well,
they drank the Kool-Aid. It's a cult, man. These guys
yes, it's a
rallied.
cult.
These guys rallied against all these immigrants and stuff, knowing that their source of labor was these folks from other countries,
I don't.
and they a lot of them bought into the idea. They thought that they were going to get blacks from everywhere else to go work them fields. They legitimately thought that.
Hmm.
I don't
And see, it's a cult. It's a cult, and
It's a
because
cult.
yes, they might not believe in the shit that he did, but it ain't gonna. He's not going to do that to us. He's not going to be that person to us. And what is he doing? And the funniest thing about it is they spin doctor around all of it to still keep
Yep.
this motherfucker on a pedestal.
Yep.
They
That's it.
pull
That's
the
all I
spin
keep
doctor
suffering.
all the time just to still keep him on a pedestal. Meanwhile, like I said in our group chat, this motherfucker pisses in their faces all the time,
know.
and they think it's Sprite.
I'm I'm
Hard
not.
head makes a soft ass, bro.
But I'm
Word.
not one to deal. I'm not one to deal in the morality aspect of a person because I don't really care about their morality. I don't care if you cheat on your wife. I don't care if you get 100 people pregnant. I don't care if you buy hookers and all that. If your morality doesn't keep you from the position of power, then I care about what you do in the position of power. Because if a man that cheats on his wife is gonna provide for me a way to feed my family, then his morals is his morals. So the
No, bro,
morality,
because a man who cheats on his wife is easily going to cheat on you.
he's
That's
gonna
how
cheat
that
on
works,
everybody.
bro.
But every
I
but
did it.
every politician
He
is a
said.
cheater.
He said I got away with the biggest cheat. I
Uh,
cheated on my wife. Why
uh,
is it? It'll be easy to cheat against
uh.
people I don't even know. I don't even know their
The
names.
thing is,
How
these folks
easy
choose
is
their
that?
morality is this. They choose racism, and they're under the belief they think racism is okay. They're going to
Yes.
deny it, but they think racism is okay. But they also think you can be racist and be fair, and that's just not the truth. They're the only people on the fucking planet who believe. Yeah, I can be. I don't have to like these people to still treat them fairly. No, yeah.
Let me ask,
Racism is not an opinion. Racism is a fucking character flaw, man.
okay.
And that's the
Yeah.
thing they don't understand.
Now, y'all know that I don't set myself as the high standard of morality at all. You understand what I'm saying? But I'm saying if I had a chance to cheat my way to the presidency of the United States, I'm doing it. You know what I mean? So it's like
Well,
I
most of
can't be
them,
But
most
mad
of
at
it's
them do.
somebody. I can't be
and
mad at
Most of
somebody
them do.
but
that
it's not
you know what I mean. I can't use
it's
that.
not
I can't
just
use
it's
that.
not just it's not just a matter of cheating your way into the position, but it's the character of the person overall. Like these people again, a lot of the talking heads in the political space, and it's mostly people who don't look like us. They refuse to identify with the fact that it was solely off of racism and bigotry to why this man won. And that's exactly what it was. A lot of people love to throw in there, oh, it's because of Kamala Harris's stance on Palestine
Garbage.
and not standing against Israel and things like that. Those are key
Garbage.
character things that people did vote for. But the people who were voting in those lines, were the people who was still about the people, about the masses, not the
Listen,
people who just said, "Yo, a lot of Trump voters were, man, fuck the libs, fuck them libtards. I can't have a woman, let alone a black woman." It was racism and bigotry that led this man to the win. All while you have a 34-time count felon who is running for president, who's a guy you just said, who is quite possibly, allegedly, quite possibly on that Epstein list. And as far as just being on the list,
wait a
being
minute.
a
He
person
settled a
implicated in
sexual harassment charge against him.
that
He
part
settled for
too,
like $85 million harassment charge
all of
against him.
that
Oh,
too.
he's
Once again,
filth to the core, man. To the core, he's
exactly.
Well, we
filth.
know.
He's
You know,
got a
we got
laundry
we got
list of legal charges and settlements and convictions against him. Go ahead, Dan. Finish. My bad, bro.
yeah, I was gonna say, like, this is Mr. I can be in the dressing rooms because I own the contest of
Mm.
young women. Like the morality of this man, and let's not forget the factors of how many businesses has he bankrupted. But yet
Everyone.
again, still capitalizes, still wins because
That's
white privilege,
morality in his
white privilege puts you, white privilege put him in that place. And
I
none of
voted for
this
Trump for
scream,
the economy.
right? None of this screams that he is a good businessman. All of this shit screams he's a good con man.
Hmm.
But yet they
and they
didn't
know
see
it.
the con.
And they know it.
But
They don't
TJ,
care, man.
you're giving these people too. When you keep saying they know it, you're giving them too much credit. They don't care.
That's what I'm saying. They don't
That's
care.
what it is. They do know that.
Yeah,
They don't
They just
they
think
don't care.
they know he's rotten to the core. They just think he's going to do it against everybody else and not them.
except
Well,
them.
Right.
But
Yes.
well, they
Right.
live off the,
Right.
there's nobody else to fuck with except for them, and that's a
Now,
stupidity.
but you know what the real, but you know what
That's
the
the
real
stupidity.
mantra is. You know what the real mantra is that they live off of. Because I've talked to people who tell me that politicians and politics are corrupt. So when we talk about all the corruption of Trump, their mantra is all of them are corrupt. And
hmm
all of them are corrupt. But I have to constantly remind people that there's levels to the shit. And Trump's level is way above anybody else's. And that's what they don't get.
Yes.
They
and
just
see,
go,
Right.
all of them is corrupt. Yeah, they're
and
all
Tyrone,
corrupt.
and that point right there. This is why I hate. This is why I hate when people say, "Yeah, we all go through it." Like I've described it on here. I've been diagnosed with major depression disorder. Okay, and I I have people say to me to my face, yeah, we all go through depression every so often. Though that could be true,
Levels.
we don't walk in the same shell that we call our bodies. We don't walk the same path of life. So what I'm going through, you might not have went through. You might not have went through. You might not have went through. None of
Or
y'all
we
have
we
been
all would
through
have
what
handled it differently. We all would have handled the
that
situation.
that's the part. So the whole every politician is corrupt, yada yada yada.
Yeah.
But it's about the again, it goes back to the morality of the person. It goes back to the character of the person. Like for instance, the guy Tom Homan, he just had the FBI just dropped his case for his corruption case. That shit looks it corruption deleting corruption. When the nigga got caught on tape doing the corruption. Like
Well,
they're playing right in these people's faces. But
yeah,
again, they think the piss is Sprite. They think the piss is Canada Dry ginger ale.
so I don't know if any of y'all watched the Straw movie that Tyler Perry made. I don't know if any of y'all watched that, right?
Oh
But
No,
no.
sir. I did not.
but
No, sir.
okay,
You
but
you
this
said you said Tyler Perry movie. That's a no,
no,
bro.
hold on. So Tyler Perry made this movie. Tyler Perry made this movie called Straw, and I watched it because Taraji was in it, and I'm a Taraji fan. So I was like, Taraji's in it. I'm gonna give it a look.
Look, brother. You don't need a disclaimer, man. If you like Tyler Perry movies, it's all good. We're
I
not
don't like
judging
Tyler
you,
Perry movies. I'm just saying.
man.
It's not a
Listen, Ty, bro.
disclaimer.
We family
Hold
here,
on.
man. You're so right.
No,
If you like it,
because
you
I'm
enjoy it.
talking about it. Hold on. I'm talking about it to say that this movie was probably
He
one of
loves the
the
he
most
loves them
terrible.
wig changes.
This movie was probably one of the most terrible films I've ever seen in the history of my life, bro. Like this film was so bad. And when I
Terrible,
went
more
on,
trouble than Electra.
yo, it's
T-
way worse
Tyler-
than Electra. I watched Electra 100
Yeah,
times
man.
before I watched Saw ever again in life, bro. Listen, Saw's on the level of Precious, bro. Saw's on the level of Precious. That's how bad it is for the black folks and how they depict us. Saw is on Precious level type time. But here's the thing. I argued with a bunch of people when I started saying this movie's terrible, this movie's bad, this movie's terrible. All of these single black moms were saying that, oh no, you can't relate. I can relate to this. I can relate to that. I can relate to that movie. I cry and all this bullshit. And I'm telling you right now that the level of shit that that woman went through in that
None of them
movie
chicks went through that.
within
None
the
of
first
them.
20 minutes, it's like, ain't no way you can relate to this. You did that. You did that.
Listen.
Maybe one of those
She's a
things that happened in
superwoman.
her
She's a superwoman, bro.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So when people be like, "Oh, I can relate to it," when people be like, "Oh,
No,
all
you
the
can't. No, you
it's the
can't.
same thing,"
They wouldn't relate to the first 5 problems, bro.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. In the first 20 minutes, dude, this woman went through more life problems than anybody will ever go through in a lifetime. And women were out here talking about, "Oh, I can relate to that," and I'm just
No,
like,
you can't.
"Ain't no way."
You would have got some help by then.
So the point I think you're trying to make in bringing that up is the people of MAGA watching their Lord and Savior work. They run with the illusion that they think that they could get on his level and be like them. Meanwhile, they continue to stack the deck against all of you motherfuckers to let you know you will never be them. You will never be them. But they got y'all by the balls by, once again, well, at least I ain't a nigga.
Yep. That's it. That's it.
You
Bottom
know,
line.
and and just something that's been showing nothing more evident about how, they just do things to try to stay in this guy's good graces because they don't want to be a casualty. And we'll end with this topic. I personally think we are approaching the eras where now America is going to be like state-run media in other countries. And funny enough is a lot of the YouTubes I've been watching recently, there's a channel of a guy who shows like what what television looked like in like dictator-run countries. So like I seen one on Turkmenistan. There's one on East Germany that I'm gonna watch soon. There was one on North Korea that I watched. Like the irony of all these countries I mentioned, and I didn't even get to Saudi Arabia yet, or I think I seen the one about no, I seen the one about Somalia, which is one of the worst dictatorships out there too, or
Yep.
Eritrea. Eritrea
Yeah,
is one
man.
of them, is what I see.
I
But
mean,
point
these are all
is
spots that this motherfucker idolizes.
exactly. That's exactly what I was throwing it to, Jamal. Was
I'm sorry,
this
bro.
guy? No, no, perfect. I'm glad you did it because that was just the alley oop to land the plane of this guy who, once again, told us he thought Hitler was a swell guy and kept his books on his bedside and all that other good stuff. And this guy, oh, Putin's not his friend, but Putin's his friend. Kim Jong Un is a good guy, and yada yada yada. This guy is putting America in position now to where if you say something bad about the deer, and you even see about how his mega cronies on television call him the dear leader.
Bunch of
Only these big
punk
time.
bitches, man.
Go ahead,
Punk
Go
ass,
ahead, Jamal. Go
bro.
ahead, Jamal.
Oh,
Go ahead.
punk ass bitches, bro. Like this whole shit with Jimmy Kimmel is backfiring. Thank God, because people started putting their money where their mouth is and saying, and the thing with Jimmy Kimmel is fucking retarded. And people
Yeah.
started canceling Hulu and Disney Plus in droves. I'm one of them. Fuck them. Why pay for that shit anymore? I rather, yeah, I'm not even gonna say what I'm gonna say, but yeah,
Yeah.
there's alternative methods to watch that content. But yeah,
Yes.
pull the money. Why are we paying them to bend the knee to this clown? This dude is the Mad King. Why are you paying the knee? So paying for them to bend the knee like that shit. And it's a dictatorship out of fear of bullshit. So just pull the money. And now they're talking about, well, maybe we'll put Jimmy Kimmel back on and shit like that because we hit him in the pocket. That's the only fucking way. You got to hit him in the pocket. That's the only thing they understand. You got to realize this motherfucker is going to cost you more money by acting the way he is than by going along with him. That's the only language they're going to understand. That's the only language they understand.
And that's why I feel like this was all ABC and Disney is doing a whole we gonna play both sides of this type thing. That's why Jimmy Kimmel technically wasn't fired. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think his contract would have allowed him to be fired like that.
No, but I'm just saying.
Especially with what he said.
I'm just saying here's the thing though. We can just be like, yo, we're firing Jimmy Kimmel and it's over and he's fired, right? And even if his contract, whatever, we'll pay him out and we'll just fire him. But I think that ABC said, you know what? You know, Disney said, you know what? We gotta support MAGA. We gotta be on Trump's side. We gotta do this and that and this and that.
That's not what it was, though. That's not what it was.
Not what it was, bro.
They were afraid of losing an FCC license. But who's fuck broadcast? Most people are watching streaming now. Anyway, they worried about the FCC license, but you know how you respond to that? I say, okay, if you're gonna do that shit, we're gonna cost you the assets you have: Star Wars, Marvel, Disney. Pull your money back from all of them.
Well, my point.
And that fixes the whole problem.
So they was worried about the FCC license, so they're saying, hey, we got to do something. But I think that it's like, okay, but we're not going to fire him because in case there's something that we got to do to keep our FCC license doesn't work, we need to be able to call this guy back up. We need to be able to return this guy back to there and do a PR spin and get our fans back. You know what I'm saying?
And that's the thing.
They just didn't want to get sued by him. That's why.
Right. And they put him on hold right now. But
right.
I'm not gonna be Jimmy Kimmel and not be in this position, possibly. I would like to, but to me, that's a sign of you burnt this bridge. You burnt this bridge, you bent the knee. Now I think somebody put a meme out, but it's just a meme. I don't think it's accurate. But I would sue them. I would sue them. Because there's no plan to if you bring him back, it would be for what? You're then gonna try to handcuff again. You're gonna try to handcuff his content and what he says and dictate what he says and does. No, there's no point of coming back. There's no point of coming back. And the problem for them is yes, there are so many other ways and platforms to move your media out there that we don't need television no more. But here's just another layer of the problem, because I was thinking about this a lot recently, because even yesterday I was just like, yo, I'm trying to think of something to maybe, like, I gotta get the website back up and running, and this is something that I've been trying to do for the longest. Just have us stream on our website, because then we can't be controlled by a YouTube. And I'm thankful for YouTube, but we can't be controlled by a YouTube. We can't be controlled by a Facebook. We can only be controlled by us and ourselves, and get people to our platform, because the problem is with them, and they've been trying so many ways to try to figure out how to make the money and siphon the money through the streaming, which they successfully have. And now, because they're losing so much when it comes to, because of these tariffs, because of all the fucking nonsense that this guy's putting into effect, and how he's propping up all these tech company giants, which, by the way, I just seen that I think the the US military made 4 tech billionaires, freaking, I think like lieutenant generals or something in the military of the tech division now, who never went through basic, never did none of this shit, but now you're running a military thing because you're a fucking billionaire. AI is going to fuck a lot of shit up. And you think that people are going to be jobless are jobless now, and because they're tearing shit up, because again, countries and companies are pulling out of dealing with us, all they're going to do is automate. This has been in the works for so long. They're going to automate so much of this shit now to where you're still going to be under their control one way or another. But this is where, again, moving on to creating your own spaces and doing your own thing and being your sole person you need to jump on this shit now.
It's all extortion. That's how they operate. It's all extortion. Everything he does, this government does, is extortion. And you got so many monopolies now where all these different companies are under the same umbrella. That's why he can fucking extort you, you fucking dumbasses, because monopolies are illegal. We got rid of that shit after the robber baron era, and now we back again. But with streaming, the big thing, and it's one of the things I'm going to touch on at J1, is it's distribution. Distribution is huge, and if he who controls the distribution controls the message, and that's what that FCC license does for ABC. They say, "Oh shit! If they revoke our license, we lose everything. We lose our distribution system." So they need to go ahead and focus on streaming it, you know, and get from out from within, which plays into what you were saying, Dan, about getting the website up and streaming from there, and not have to worry about a different platform, a distribution platform, to conform to the rules. But what these guys are doing, which is he ran on no censorship in media. That was one of his core things: no censorship in media.
Bring comedy
And
back, right?
that's it.
But who can't
They
take
are
jokes?
fucking clamping down on First Amendment rights, is what they're doing. And they want free speech except for a message that's not theirs.
Right.
They want to be able to say
Right.
all the shit they want to do. And so it's just a bunch of chump change, man.
And that's why I set the table on state-run media.
I really want to ask you guys a question, because we're part of media, sort of, kind of, you know what I mean? We're part of media because we put out our podcast, and it's media. It's on social media and it's on media platforms, right? And certain things I go, like Dan last week when we were talking about the Charlie Kirk situation, and you said you didn't want to put it on our show because you didn't want to promote that. You didn't want to promote that guy. You didn't want to do all of that, right? And certain times when I do my show, when I do the list for podcasts, I go, certain topics I'm not going to say, I'm not going to comment on, I'm not going to be involved in any of that, right? So is there a culpability to Jimmy Kimmel to say, hey man, you already knew that Charlie Kirk situation was sensitive. You already knew that MAGA is sensitive.
No.
You already knew all of this shit. So maybe you shouldn't have said anything.
Anything he said, his whole shit was not insensitive to anybody.
I understand that, but that
I know, but it wasn't.
No, let me finish. That Charlie Kirk situation was something that if I was Jimmy Kimmel, me, Tyrone, if I was Jimmy Kimmel, that would have been on the, we not bringing it up. Like, X this shit out of our whole commentary. I don't want to do this, because you got to think, like, anything you say about that situation is going to fucking get you.
Ty, that's not what that was about.
That's what
that was Trump personally, because Jimmy Kimmel goes after Trump all the time. Trump didn't give a fuck what he said about Charlie Kirk. Trump does not give a fuck about Charlie Kirk. Why he got why he got canceled is Jimmy Kimmel showed that Trump doesn't give a fuck about Charlie Kirk. That's what got him.
I was about to bring.
That's what got him. He when they asked, he played that clip when they asked Trump how he was holding up about Charlie Kirk's death, and Trump pivoted to the new ballroom being built. Jimmy Kimmel was making a statement. He was attacking Trump. So that shit was all just Trump just getting sick of this dude. Jimmy Kimmel goes after Trump every night, and that's all that was about.
Especially when Jimmy Kimmel made, he denounced what happened. He actually, I think he even said rest in peace and all of that stuff.
He said love and prayers to his fans, everything.
Yes. He did all of that, whether you feel he deserved it or not. He did all of that. But like Jamal said, he put the mirror back up on Trump because, once again, there is audio and video evidence of him showing not to give a fuck. The media person asked you the question, about how you feel about him, but you want to talk about the $180
A
million
ball.
ballroom that's going to be
Yep.
dipped in gold and how that construction is going along.
That's all I
That
was
was the
about,
most
bro.
This is
insensitive shit ever. That
Trump's
was the most
fragile
insensitive,
fucking ego.
ego-driven
And I'm
shit
saying,
ever, bro.
and
That's
I'm
it.
saying, if it was me, I would have stayed far away from that. I'm sorry, I would have
I know,
stayed
That
man,
that,
far
but
that goes
away
back to
from that.
that goes back to what Jamal
that's not how
said.
Jimmy Kimmel's
Suppression
built, though.
of
That's
free
not how he's
speech,
built.
bro.
Yeah,
I know, I
Suppression of
know,
free speech. You're
I
scared to
know.
say something because of the consequences. When you should have every right to say it, especially the
and
way he
then
said it.
yeah, man, and he was
and
I
making
keep
a
telling y'all,
statement on Trump, and the irony,
and
and
I keep,
the funky shit about it is they're coming for the Rock's daughter now because of what she said. And I'm quoting her loosely as she said something like, if you want people to have kind words when you pass, you should say kind words when you're alive.
yeah,
And that shit was spot on.
yeah.
That
Right,
shit was
100%.
spot on.
But
right.
And
guess
I,
what? But guess what, Jamal? That MAGA company can't touch her because of the board. Because who's at the top of that board is her daddy.
that's it.
Is her daddy. And like you mentioned the just pull. That's why I pulled Peacock. I got rid of Peacock because I don't want to support the MAGA Sports Entertainment Company no more. I didn't watch nothing else on Peacock. I got them because of the network and because of the pay-per-views. But now,
Exactly.
nah, they've been showing us how much a MAGA they are for so long. That's why I don't support it no more. But
And that's
point
all Comcast,
is
right?
I,
Comcast owns them?
no, TKO Holdings is who owns WWE.
Gotcha. Okay.
And they have their deal with Peacock for another couple years left or so. But they just struck their deal with ESPN, and where now they're showing they're showing the pay-per-views through ESPN now, where you still got to pay $30 for the pay-per-view and $30 a month for fucking what's the name. It's point they're all wrapped up in this whole ABC Disney cipher now,
Yeah,
even more than Linda McMahon tearing apart the educational system.
Oh,
But I
she's a
didn't.
fucking retard too, bro.
But I didn't mean to bring. I didn't mean you
I'm
brought up the
sorry, man.
Rock's daughter is the only reason why I continued on that shit. It's just this whole thing. And so Tyrone, to your point before, yes, I didn't want to bring that guy up because again, even in passing, to me, that's still a form of promoting. And honestly, I know for me, there was nothing positive being said. So
The-
why platform that? Why platform now normally we do talk negative about shit, but I'm not giving
no.
airtime to a white supremacist that passed so freshly. I'm
and
sorry. I'm sorry.
it's crazy that people keep writing that freedom of speech thing, and I keep trying to tell people that freedom of speech only means that the government can't prosecute you for shit that you say. Freedom of speech does not mean that you will not be punished for shit that you say, because your boss can punish you for shit that you say.
right.
ABC can punish you for shit that you say. You know what I'm saying? So it's not a freedom of speech issue. You have the
You're
freedom to
just
say
not
it.
free. You're just not free of consequence.
Right. You're not free
Right.
of consequence. And so under them circumstances, I'm like, Jimmy, you've been getting away with a lot of shit. And I'm not saying that Jimmy should be canceled. I'm not saying it was right. But to Jamal's point, Jimmy been saying a lot of shit. And I've been scared for him myself. Sometimes Jimmy goes on there and he says shit, and I'm like, oh man, Trump, like, Jimmy's gonna get it. And it caught up to him. And it's like, Jimmy, you knew your ice was thin, bro. Yeah, like he had to
Yep.
know his ice was thin,
Yeah,
bro.
But
yo.
but Tyrone,
So
but
So for
Tyrone,
me,
but
you know what
Tyrone.
I'm saying? So for me in that situation, if I'm Jimmy Kimmel and I'm already on the thin ice and the Charlie Kirk thing happened, bro, I'm saying I would make a conscious decision to go, you know what?
You
I ain't
said
gonna
that
do it.
5 times already. But here's the thing, Tyrone, and I'll give it back to you, TJ. Here's the thing, TJ. But this was we need to bring comedy back crowd.
Mm,
They're not the
mm.
we're the snowflakes. We're the snowflakes. But they're the ones acting like this. Come on now, guys.
yeah. In the immortal words of Prodigy, like I said, this line is no truer statement than this. Speak the wrong words, man, and you will get touched. And that's what happened, right? But the reason they didn't outright fire him is because that would have been crazy. It would have threw, like Jamal said, the money into chaos. So that's why they suspended him. They suspended him because they had to see how this was going to play out.
That was my
They
point.
caved. They bent the knee, man. They caved to this clown.
But that
And
was my
whatever
point.
else, but whatever.
We're going to play both sides. We're not going to fine him. We're going to suspend him and see how the suspension plays out. And like Jamal said, now that people are going, oh, we don't like the suspension, we don't like the Jimmy Kimmel thing, we fucking with the money. Now they got to pivot. They're going to have to pivot. If Jimmy Kimmel,
did you see what they were asking Jimmy to do to come back? They had to donate to the family and his foundation,
Apologize
and
and donate.
do a public apology to the family. And he said, "Fuck no, I'm not doing it."
Yeah.
We got to remember, Jimmy Kimmel has another show on ABC. So what are they going to do about Millionaire? Because he's the host.
They did that. I know they're shooting themselves in the foot to appease a dictator with a 6th grade education. So let them do that. They did the same thing to Stephen Colbert, and I believe Netflix picked up Colbert, right?
I believe so.
Jimmy Kimmel,
he made statements
Jimmy
about
Kimmel
it
will be
also.
finding a home because Netflix is trying to get into live broadcast. So it wouldn't surprise me if they pick him up too, and they don't have to worry about that other shit. Netflix is also trying to buy HBO, which is insane. So
they got that much money?
Listen, they got. I forgot that amount of money. They 5 years ago they took out this super loan from Goldman Sachs. So yeah, so if they buy HBO, you know what comes with that? Warner Brothers, DC, Discovery, all under Netflix.
All that shit.
AEW.
See, and whatever else is under the subsidiaries under them. So,
listen, they're building that super lot down by you, Jamal. So, they're gonna have plenty of space to shoot all that shit.
Yep. Yes, sir.
Yep. They got one in fucking what's his name? Greenpoint, I think, in Brooklyn.
There you go.
Bro, they got money like that, then they're about to do really big things.
These folks is acting like and governing like they're going to be in power forever, and we all know nothing lasts forever. And they're starting. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, but they fighting amongst themselves right now.
It's all amongst themselves. And what
the
all
whole
of this
thing is amongst themselves.
I thought I had something else to add to it. I did, but I could just wrap it with this. This is something that I've been saying for years on this show. And the first go around didn't prove true for me, but this one sure is. Because, like I said, number one, this go round, I said it. He's trying to make himself king. He's trying to make himself ruler, dictator. But now, if you peel the layers back a little further, it's not him. I said that he was a puppet years ago, and that's exactly what he is right now. He's the puppet because all the billionaires are really backing JD Vance because JD Vance is in that next up position to give them all the power that they want. But I still stand on, because everybody's showing their ass right now, this is racist white male America's last stand. And if they can't pull this off, then now I think they are finished. They are finished.
Absolutely.
When you have when you have these people trying to deem Antifa a terrorist organization, meanwhile Antifa ain't even an organization, but you can't name the Klan a terrorist organization. This is racist white male America's last stand. And then their time is numbered. Their chickens are about to come home to roost, my brothers. And with that being said, Jamal, you know what to do.
Great fucking show, y'all. Good passionate topics. Shout out to the homie Big O, who's couldn't make it today. Shout out to TJ. TJ and his gummy. TJ out there, you're an inspiration, running full courts with the young boys every week. Make sure you got them knee braces on, fam.
I do, bro. I do.
Big Ty, always
The $6
keeping the
man.
conversation good and playing devil's advocate. Appreciate you, man, making the conversations interesting. Mayor, I'm gonna give my usual shout outs to Disabled Planets, peace to Ishtar, peace to Hooks Rub and Dubby, peace to Ill Magic from O, and peace to the mayor. Let me toss it back over to TJ.
Yeah, another great show. This was fun. We got into it. We spicy. We got a little spicy in the beginning there, but that's what the show is about. I like doing that. Lisper got to prove his point about his forever championship Lakers, but we know Knicks are gonna get one way before the Lakers will. So that's all right. It's all good. It's all good. We'll be happy for y'all when you win again in like 5 years.
Says the man who took a gummy today.
No. I'm about out.
Like I said, we do this, but to get eyes on us, to get to be in a position to go somewhere where we actually can sit down and talk to people, actually talk to physical people, man. I love that spotlight. I love the fact that we're gonna be going to J1Con next week. I love the episode today. I like the fact, like I said, I can come here and I can freely say what I want to say, and I'm not feeling judged, and I'm not feeling censored in any kind of way. And I appreciate you fellas being real men and saying, hey, Tyrone gonna say some fucked up shit, but we gonna deal with it. You know what I mean? We're gonna let it go. TJ, using
That's
the
just our
role,
special cousin.
using the role during the show, that's a little much, bro. I don't recommend you do that next week. You know what I'm saying?
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
Don't bring your rolls to the con, bro. That's not gonna look right.
If you do, leave it in the room, right?
Yeah. And other than that, man, I'm looking forward to seeing you guys and actually shaking hands in person next week.
Word.
That's what's
Next week we post panel. As I'm looking forward to post panel. Prior to is going to be pregame. I mean, actually, I'm driving down there that Saturday. Like, I'm leaving early Saturday morning. I'm glad. Thank you, Showbo, for actually charging for the room ahead of time. So y'all got your money already. I ain't got to check my account to say, damn, when are they going to take this 200 out? You know what I'm saying? You took your money already. Thank you. Thank you. But man, I need next weekend. I'm a little upset because I had to check the weather and it's showing 50% rain. Let's hope that 50% stays 100. Stay away. But damn it, man, I need this escape, even though it's just for 2 days. I'm not doing my normal Friday to Saturday. Just need to have a good time. We definitely gonna have a good time. If you know us, come kick it with us. It's all good. I ain't handing out no cigars this year, other than the TJ or Jamal or anybody from the crew that wants one.
Not me.
Shouts out to the brother Curtis. I told him he owes me. He needs to start handing me cigars. 'Cause every time I see him, yo, here you go, brother. But anyway, we gotta have a fucking great time next week, man. Y'all seen the group chat. You already know what I'm supplying. So somebody bring the alcohol, or I might bring the alcohol, whatever the case may be. Pre-gaming a little too loud with y'all. Shouts out to Hooks Rub as always. 20% off your order using that code START5. 10% off with our affiliates at W. J1Studios.com. Go get your tickets for J1Con. $40 for the whole weekend. The longest running black owned anime convention in the country. Y'all should be flooding this convention just like y'all do DreamCon, just like y'all do all the other black conventions. Y'all should have been running to this, flocking to this for years now. But my man's still going. He still got everything in motion. And glad we are a part of it every fucking year. And we're gonna knock it out the park like we do every fucking year. So with that being said, peace. No show from here next week, but I might try to work something out to maybe we could be live somewhere while we do what we do. We'll see y'all then. Peace.